A reading from the Gospel of Luke. On one occasion, when Jesus was going to the house of a leader of the Pharisees to eat a meal on the Sabbath, they were watching him closely. Just then, in front of him, there was a man who had dropsy. And Jesus asked the lawyers and the Pharisees, "Is it not lawful to cure people on the Sabbath or not?" But they were silent. So Jesus took him and healed him and sent him away. Then he said to them, "If one of you has a child or an ox that has fallen into a well, will you not immediately pull it out on the Sabbath day?" And they could not reply to this. There's a couple of things going on in this passage today, but the most important one happens in the very first sentence. We often think about Jesus as the one who dines with the poor, the tax collectors, the outcasts. But what we can see is that Jesus also dined with the religious elite. Jesus's inclusivity transcends much of our understanding. It's one thing to share a meal with those who are like-minded, but it's another to share a meal with someone who is actively trying to catch you or trick you, which often the Pharisees are depicted as. This really shows the radical nature of the love of God and of who Jesus is. That not only did he come to dine, to advocate, and to save the poor, the widow, the prostitute, the outcast, but also those that are trapped in the systems of higher level oppression, authority, the religious elite. Jesus is truly inclusive. And here it continues, in which Jesus is talking about what you can and cannot do on the Sabbath. And for us, this is extremely logical. But for those Jewish elite, this was not an easy question. The Sabbath was a law of God in the Jewish tradition, and it is still practiced for many of us today. But what God is saying, what Jesus is saying, is that people, human life, matters more than the law of God. And it actually can go back to what we consider the golden rule, the golden commandment, if you will. Love the Lord your God and love your neighbor as yourself. And that law trumps all other laws. So as we move forward in our day, let us remember that the love of God is all about the love of humanity, the love of one another, the love of creation. And that includes everyone. Amen.